Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly the air changes? People shift uncomfortably, conversations pause, and eyes follow you, not out of hate, but something deeper. It's not your words, it's not your looks, it's your energy. Carl Jung believed we all carry an invisible force, an aura so powerful it can shake others to their core without you even realizing it. But here's the catch. If people avoid you, envy you, or act strangely around you, it might not be you that's the problem. It might be a sign that your aura is disturbing their demons. Have you ever felt like you're losing everything around you, but somehow you're becoming stronger at the same time? Like you're drifting away from old friends, old ways of thinking, and maybe even from the person you used to be. But deep inside, something is shifting. Something is healing. You just can't see it yet. Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds of psychology, said that true healing doesn't always look like joy or celebration. Sometimes healing feels like silence. In today's video, we'll uncover 13 signs that you're quietly healing, and you might not even realize it. Sign 1. You've become more selective with your company. When you're healing, your relationships start to shift. You no longer tolerate toxic people. The people who once drained your energy no longer fit into your life. Carl Jung said, "We meet ourselves time and time again in 1,000 disguises." And as you heal, you start meeting a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Your inner world becomes more precious than external validation, so you naturally withdraw from people who no longer align with your energy. It's not that you've become antisocial, but rather you've learned to protect your peace. Sign 2. You feel an unexplained peace in solitude. At first, solitude might feel lonely, but as you heal, you start finding peace in your own company. Jung believed that the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And being alone doesn't feel sad anymore. It feels like an opportunity for growth, reflection, and deep connection with yourself. You no longer feel the need to fill the silence with distractions. You start to understand that solitude isn't the absence of people. It's the presence of self. Sign number 3. You begin to let go of old hurt. Forgiving others might have seemed impossible before, but as you heal, you begin to release the anger, the resentment, the guilt that has kept you bound for years. Jung said, "What you resist persists." And this is the moment when you finally stop resisting the pain of the past. You accept it, learn from it, and release it. It's no longer part of your identity. You are not the sum of your past mistakes, you are the result of your growth. Sign 4. Your emotions are becoming easier to understand. Emotionally, you've stopped running from your feelings. You're no longer afraid of feeling sadness, anger, or joy. You embrace them fully. Jung believed in the power of the unconscious, and as you heal, your emotions start making sense. Instead of trying to suppress them, you allow them to flow through you, recognizing that each feeling is a message, guiding you to the next step of your journey. Sign 5. You are more patient with yourself. Healing is not a race, it's a journey. You no longer beat yourself up for making mistakes or not being where you think you should be. Carl Jung often spoke of the process of individuation, where you become more of who you are, no matter how long it takes. Healing happens in its own time, and you've learned to accept that. You're kind to yourself. You're patient. You understand that each day brings you closer to wholeness. Sign 6. You start trusting your intuition. Your inner voice grows louder and clearer. You no longer need to seek constant advice from others because you're learning to trust your own instincts. Jung said, intuition is perception via the unconscious. As you heal, you tap into this deeper knowing. You stop doubting yourself. You begin to make decisions based on what feels right, not what others think. Your intuition becomes your guide. Sign 7. You experience more synchronicity. Synchronicity, Jung's theory of meaningful coincidences, begins to show up in your life. Things just seem to fall into place at the right moment. You start to realize that nothing is by chance. The universe, God, or whatever force you believe in is guiding you to where you need to be. Healing happens not only in the small changes you make, but also in these synchronicities that reassure you you're on the right path. Sign 8. You've stopped seeking external validation. As you heal, you start to realize that external validation, likes, comments, praise, no longer holds the same power over you. You start validating yourself. You stop waiting for others to tell you that you're enough. You are enough, just as you are. This inner confidence allows you to stand tall and walk with a calm, centered energy, knowing your worth without needing anyone to affirm it. Sign 9. You feel less attached to material things. The desire for material wealth and possessions fades. You begin to understand that true happiness doesn't come from things, but from within. Jung once said, "The possession of knowledge does not kill the sense of wonder and mystery." There is always more mystery. And as you heal, you discover that the real treasure is not in your possessions, but in your mind, your spirit, and your heart. Sign 10. You begin to let go of control. You stop trying to control everything around you. You trust that life will unfold as it should. Healing means embracing uncertainty and having faith that things will work out even when you don't have all the answers. Carl Jung taught that the foundation of all mental illness is the unwillingness to experience legitimate suffering. Sometimes, letting go of control is the greatest act of healing. Sign 11. You experience greater compassion for others. As you heal, your compassion for others grows. You start to see people not for their flaws, but for their potential, their pain, and their humanity. Jung believed that understanding our own suffering helps us understand others. And as you heal, you begin to approach others with love, patience, and acceptance. You see that everyone is on their own healing journey. Sign number 12. You start letting go of old patterns, 12 to 1300. Narrator. You stop repeating the same destructive patterns in relationships, work, and life. Healing means breaking free from the chains of old habits. Jung believed that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. But as you heal, you begin to see the patterns clearly and you choose to break them step by step. You may not see it, but you are healing in profound ways. Carl Jung's words remind us that healing doesn't always look like joy. Sometimes it looks like the quiet strength of simply surviving, changing, and growing. If you recognized yourself in any of these 13 signs, know that you are not alone. Healing is a journey, and it's happening within you right now. Be kind to yourself, be patient, and remember, everything you need is already within you. Which of these signs resonated with you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, because we're all healing together.